You know what's so funny, Black America? As soon as I was pressing this button, I said he gonna hop in the comment section talk about start the damn show. So anyway, it is the Demetra K show, and it's Wealth Wednesdays with Walter and Donovan. Walter requested Donovan to be here. He said he must be in attendance for this show. This is not my topic. This is Walter's topic. I'm going to moderate the show, okay? This is actually his concern, and he had the question of why do women want men to spend money to hang out with them? So he is going to give us his story, I'm assuming. I'm sure he wants to tell the story. I'm sure a lot of you all have a story of, maybe hanging out with somebody who wanted you to do something you wouldn't ordinarily do, or you want to know why I have to do it. But in this case, why do women want them to spend money just to simply hang out? So who do we have on here? We have BC, Black America, Thunder. All right. So the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people, with the emphasis on even, because we are great people, but we can always strive to do better. Also, I'd like to say a big giant hello, welcome, and thank you to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you just viewers, but we do put a link in the comment section on YouTube if you would like to come on. And when I say briefly, I mean briefly. Ask a question or comment or concern or whatever, then we can go from there. There's a lot of things going on in the world. So, of course, this being a money show, we'll talk about, money, answer you guys' money questions or whatever you might have. And so I'm afraid of this conversation, where it might go. I don't know how much energy I have to dedicate to this today. But nevertheless, we're going to see where it goes. So, Walter, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm working like a slave that's getting paid. Actually, I should find a better word. I'm a slave to the rhythm, slave to the dollar. I'm ready to talk about this very sensitive subject of booty and money and how. Never mind. I ain't gonna give it away.
All right.
I'm well versed on this subject. I'm sure, as is Donovan.
How are you, Donovan?
I am sitting here chilling, and I think this is a topic that we need to discuss, because it seems to me all guys have to face this at one time or another. It just seems, we have to spend money in the company of a nice young lady or a nicely young ratchet, one way or the other. But before we get into that, please, you guys, you see this scrolling banner at the bottom here. Please, it takes a lot to do a show. And if you would want to sponsor and Cash App and do all that great stuff to help the show go farther and Demetra to continue to put up great content, please go ahead and do so. Anything that you guys contribute helps, and we appreciate it. But also, please like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button and share on your platform, because, brothers, we have to come together and unite in Christ, and let's get this thing out so we can solve these problems. Let's have our fellowship. Amen.
Did you say unite? You doing a whole lot of strange, funky things in the name of Christ, which reminds me, back in the day when I was working at Frito-Lay, y'all know I used to work at Frito-Lay. Hey, Darius. Hey, Brother Don, Brother Reggie, and Lord. I know this fool did talk about some amen. Lord Flawless. Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all a story that I'm gonna give it to Walter. One day I was working at Frito-Lay, was sitting around the table at break time, talking to the guys. They're joking around, and this guy says, "You know what? I'm gonna open me a bar, like a strip club bar type of situation." It was like, "Oh yeah, what you gonna name it?" He said, "I'm gonna name it Chi-Chi's Christ." I'm like, I would feel so conflicted. Like, do I go in? What are we doing here? And I thought about it. I said, that's kind of catchy. I mean, you might go to hell for naming it Chi-Chi's Christ, but I don't know. So who else came on here? Easy. How are you doing? Brina, what's going on with you? Angela, how are you? All right, Walter, the show is yours. Why are we talking about why do women want men to spend money with them to hang out? Well, what happened was,
Well, so we talk about two things today: that, and then thinking what you say 5 times before you spend money. But let me talk about the last thing. This is something that happened to me. It didn't happen to me, but it could have happened to me. So, and this has actually happened to me more than once. I haven't gone through with it, but it's happened to me. So, damn, how do I say it? So, as you know, I have this candle business, and thank you for those of you guys who are going to lit that one and ordering. Um, so I meet this young sister girl, beautiful woman. She got her kid there. I'm getting one of my cars washed from my car dealership, and I just noticed you just standing there, kind of lingering at the gas pump next to me. And I was like, you know what? Do you mind? Can I pump your gas for you? You know, there's a grown ass man standing here, a sister girl. No woman, but especially a black woman, shouldn't be pumping her gas when there's a man standing right here. Just kind of what I used to watch my father do shit like that. I wasn't trying to sleep with her. I was just like, I'm standing here, you getting gas. What kind of man would I be to sit here and watch you pump gas? You know what I'm saying? So while I'm holding the gas pump, I'm like, she goes, what do you do? I said, I have a couple things. I have a candle business, and I'm looking for young people that want to start a business and make money in the candle industry. I have several products that, do well, and you can make really good money. And she goes, yeah, I'm cool with that. I want to make some money. So I said, okay, here's my number. And then so she hit me up the next day and was like, hey, I'm going to come over and I'm going to check out your candle business. I said, cool, let's do that. And so then she called me back, was like, do you have any wine? I was like, oh, shit. I was like, well, I don't normally let people I don't know drink my good shit, but I will go to get some $2 Chuck and give that to people I don't know. So then she calls me back and says, I'm going to come over, but you seem like a nice guy. I can stay for a while and you can help me pay for some books. Brianna, we need to talk. Please hit me up because I need some help. I got some great ideas. Trust me. When I got this new wax you can pour on yourself and wax on your partner and wax off. If that's don't make that face. Coconut oil does not burn. I tried it. So anyway, she basically wants me to pay her to come over. And you guys can take it from there.
So she wants you to pay her to come over. So did she? Y'all see, I'm taking notes because, like I said, I'm just here to kind of moderate. So she wants you to pay her to come over. Did she ask you for money, or is it like, hey, you have wine, or like, how'd that go?
She said, I can come over. I can stay. I can stay with you. We can hang out tonight, and you can help me pay for my books. So I don't need an Enigma machine to, decode what she was saying.
Okay, so I just want to kind of disclaim. And who else came on here? Jimmy, how you doing? And DJ Segwan, how you doing? I see you said don't roll your eyes because Kevin Samuels was right. And JB WR, how you doing? Okay, so she wanted you to pay for the books.
She wanted me to pay for the booty. This girl is not in school.
Because wait. So she didn't say, hey, I got a little something for you if you pay for the books, or did you just kind of like read between the lines type of thing?
There was no lines. She goes, I can come stay, I can spend the hangout with you tonight, and you can help me with my books.
What the hell kind of foolery is that? What happened to just two people that have a common interest just getting together? Okay, I get it, but not when you just meet somebody.
I can tell you what it is, and I'm a let's just get it cracking. I get it. She saw a nice brother, and she was like, I'm gonna get this dude for some money. I don't mind giving up the booty. So maybe he'll pay for it.
How old was she?
I don't know. Maybe 24, 5. She had a 5-year-old running around, so I assume she was at least in her late 20s.
So, you know what? I've seen a lot of that in the IE. Just running around. The girls are just really quick. The younger girls are just they're just into that culture. I guess the 304 culture is just a prominent thing now, and they see no problem with soliciting you.
And with me, I just, first of all, it turned me off. Really pretty girl. I thought, I could get her She could do some candle parties. The girl that was helping me with my candle business before she stole from me, made $1,000 the last 2 weeks she worked with me. I mean, like, it's like, yo, so the money is there. So when I'm seeing this sister, I'm thinking, like from my older sister that used to live with me, was always complaining like black women don't have power. Black women, we're so this and this. We're black women, we don't have shit. We can't do nothing. We are powerless. And so I kind of bought into it for just a second. I'm gonna help black women, yada yada yada. But the sister girl that lived with me, you guys saw her. She's on my website, my Verbal Herb website. She just did all kinds of wild stuff. I ain't gonna go to it. Matter of fact, those are her light up shoes she sent to somebody and didn't put enough postage, so they turn red, purple. I'm gonna put those to use. Trust me. Or I'm gonna put them on eBay. I don't know if they wax on off material. Can you wipe wax off of a plastic heel?
I'm sure you can.
So, but when I saw this girl at the gas station, she was young, she was pretty, and we had a really like good conversation. Like she seemed like she could conjugate a verb, like she could really, like we could do something together.
Look at this. Thunder almost called you a fool. He talking about if you want to get it for free, dress like a Pookie or Ray Ray, then they don't seem like they have to pay.
You know what? I'm gonna take. I mean, well, I'm not in a position to do that, but if I was gonna do that, maybe because those guys, I see some really pretty women with some Negroes pants on the ground, just looking crazy. You go to dinner and the women's all dressed up heels, and this Negro got on a cap and his ass hanging out from the back. Help me, Jesus. So, anyways, back to this sister. I was disappointed because I spent all that energy like, okay, I'm going to train her. I'm going to get her set up. I'm going to help her support her kid. And then she's like, oh, no, I just want to come over and bone and you give me some money. I'm going to go even further, and I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it. I'm currently single, kind of. So I'm going to say this. I had another, and black women, I'm talking to you because y'all need to check y'all women, because the white woman, white man has nothing to do with the issue I'm having. Another sister girl. I started my candle business with a sister girl. She bought a car from me, and she took me to the candle store and helped me get started. And I said, yo, I'll put up the money. You run the business and we can get down. That was last Thursday. Last time I saw her, and we were kind of talking. I ain't gonna say her name because we'll probably do business in the future. But the whole time she was on the phone with just all of her girlfriends calling her drama. This nigga ain't shit. Can you believe what this girl did? And I said to her, listen, you're sitting here with a man that can put $1,000 a week in your pocket and show you how to get your shit together. But most of the time we've been talking about the nigga shit. And I've been listening to you on the phone. I took this woman to a nice dinner. We went to an Italian restaurant. I took her to show her the whole operation. And I was like, I'll pay you $1,000 a week. You have a quota of this, and I'll give you a rack a week. That's 50 grand a year. I will pay you to run my candle business, and you only have to sell 20 candles a day. Social media, on the street. You can go to a business center and sell 20 in 20 minutes in one office with 50 women. Like, I'm saying, I'll give you $1,000 a week. So, but she couldn't really hear to that because it was just all the drama. And then she had too much to drink. She's like, I'm jumping in your bed. I like to sleep naked. I'm like, yo, you can't sleep in my bed. And you can't, it's not how this works. If I want to just spend the day, I can go down to Suki and them over to the massage parlor over in Juan Lee and them and spend $120. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to spend all day to get no booty that lasts for 2 hours. Come on now. And what
Can y'all respond to this? And how you doing, Unpopular?
I mean, I don't know. Why sleep with a dusty or someone that can't help you? No, listen. Women, I understand that you give up. Sex for you is a trade-off. I get it. You sleep with people that give to you financially, a lot of you. I understand that, and I didn't used to believe it, but I've even heard girls say, oh, my man is tripping. His paycheck was low. I don't even feel like it tonight. So prostitution is bigger than we think. And the minute we agree on that, we can move forward as a people. So I don't know.
Well,
So
it's funny that you say that, because you could find stories. I follow the Press Enterprise all the time and stuff, and there are articles in there dealing with our community here. And I'm a military guy, and I got a bunch of buddies down in San Diego. And a lot of people don't know this. When you're in the Navy and you're assigned to a ship, your housing and your berth is on the ship. So you're out to sea for a couple months, you come back, whatever. Now you're home. Where do these Navy guys go? You think they want to stay on a ship? You can't bring a girl on a aircraft carrier, because you can't do that, right? So a lot of the Navy guys, they go and get rooms and hotels in town. And long story short is, I got some of the buddies, and they were telling me some of the stories, and they said, like, this girl would come in there, and if you've been to Singapore, the Philippines, whatever, you guys know what's going on. Dominican Republic, we all know what's going on in these places. It's a thing, but it's also going on here in the United States. So let's say the girl, they come to an agreement of $200, right?
That's a lot for overseas, man. It's
no. I'm talking about here, stateside.
Oh, stateside.
Yeah, stateside here.
So 120.
Yeah. So they come to an agreement of $200. A lot of my buddies say, and some of these guys are older, and they'll say these younger girls here in the United States, you give them $200, and 15 minutes later, it's done, and they're out the door. If they give you anything at all, it's like boom, boom, bam, and they rob you and they go. The service is not good or whatever the deal is. And I said,
are we talking about prostitution, Donovan?
Well, I don't know what you want to talk about. We're talking about transactional exchange of ideas, okay, and supporting the troops. And supporting the troops.
Is no robbery,
right?
So let me ask this. I saw a couple of questions on here. DJ Segawani says, sounds like you was simping. Why don't y'all so-called black men, whoever have resources, help the men? Respect the jux. I don't know what that means. It says LOL.
I read the comment, and I read the one, why does he attract this kind of women?
Yes, that was the next one I was going to.
I'm going to go in, and I'm going to say this. I am approaching young black women to help me to put money in their pocket. The last 3 women that I've recruited to help me with my business have been young black women that say they need help. Black women are disadvantaged, and black women aren't being supported by black men. The woman that y'all used to see walking in and out of my house on camera, you remember her, you can go to my website, verbalherb.com, my clothing line, see her face there. She stayed in my house for free. I didn't stick my thing in her. I did not approach her sexually. She drove my Range Rover, my Audi. She went on vacation with me and my children. D, you've met her. My family considers her family. We hung out. She lived with me for free for 2 years, and I paid this chick to work for me. And she got a bad one day. Black women were rough. We're having it bad, and she decided to rob my neighbors. That was one. The other same thing. So I don't know if I'm attracting these women. I am approaching these, and when I say young women, these are women in their 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? When I see a black woman, like for instance, one of them bought a car from me. She came and gave me $7,000 for a BMW. So she goes, I sell candles. I said, I would do that. Let's get it together. The other girl was my Airbnb host. She stayed with me in my house for Airbnb. I noticed she was sleeping in her car, going to change clothes. So I was like, I'm going to help this young sister. So that is my dumb ass trying to help my black women do better. It is costing me money to reach out to a woman based on the color of her skin. It is costing me a lot of money to try and help somebody based on their color. So it ain't about attracting these women unless you think black women are shit and hoes and aren't worthy. Then I am attracting those women because those are the women that I try and help the most because I want to help my people. So at what point do you say, you know what, I'm done. I'm just going to help the next person that wants to get out.
So let me ask you this, because DJ Segawan says, this still means you're a simp because not once you mentioned helping men. So, and Donovan, I want to ask you this: why would y'all help a woman over a man?
Oh shit!
I'm seeing if y'all have the answer because I know the answer.
Oh my
Well,
God.
I'm going to say this. I'm kind of like Walter. I would prefer to help a woman over a man simply for this. Women are the first teachers, and it's more likely when you give to and when you give and pour into a woman, she is going to pour into her children. So if she has multiple children, that knowledge will be passed on to those children. Whereas if it's a man, you might have a son here and a son there, but kids, whatever, but you don't have access to those kids like the mother would. So it's more likely when you pour into the woman, that's going to raise the nation when you do that because she's the first teacher.
Captain America said, "Captain Save a Hole." Listen, man, it ain't about saving no holes. When I see a young black woman that is like, I want to do better, I don't consider her a hoe. I take her for her word. And don't get it twisted. I live in a white community. Actually, that's not true. I have several black people in my community. It makes us mostly white, but there's probably 10, 15% black people in my community. And every single black woman I have approached in this community, all of them older, by the way, 40s, 50s, 60s, all of them came over, bought cars for me, candles, but they like, we got our shit together. We don't need to make no money. We got it. So they don't need me. The women that need me are the young women who are trying to get their shit together. So, and helping men, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need another man to help me. What I need another man to do is get with me and we do something together. Oh, hey, brother, can you call? Hey, listen, man, can you help me out? I'm short on the rent. No, Negro, won't you get up a little bit earlier and work a little bit harder? No, I'm not calling another man for no help. But since men are superior to women when it comes to being physical, and I'm talking about like physical, strong men, unless you're in the WNBA, and that's a whole different conversation. But I'm talking about we are supposed to support and protect our women. That's what I thought. So when I'm approaching these young black women or they're approaching me, I'm like, yo, I can help you because it's my role as a black man to help you do better. But then if I got to go through 20 black young women, and I'm saying young women because generally women in their 40s and 50s tend to have it together, right? They know what they want. And if I talk to a sister in her 40s and say, hey, I have a candle company, da-da-da-da-da, she's like, probably, you know what? I got my own. Why don't we just merge? I don't need you. You don't need me. But why don't we get together and get this money? Where a young girl in her 20s and 30s is still trying to figure it out.
And let me throw something to this. Also, DJ Second One says, no, save Democrat. You a simp too. So he called you simp too. Because, again, name the men you've helped. Also, the first teacher is your father. He's a man. Women are nurturing, not educating. So that is false. The first teacher is the mother because that is who the children drink of. She is the center of influence in a traditional setting. And I don't know if you're a traditional man or you're a modern man, but in a traditional setting, the woman stays at home. She teaches the children. She nurtures the children. She does everything for the children. That's why she is the circle of influence. The man is traditionally outside bringing in the money. So he doesn't spend as much time with the children. But as far as helping a man, I can tell you right now, both of these brothers here have helped a copious amount of men. And the other thing is, as my dad always says, I ain't gonna help you do nothing. And that's the problem with a lot of people. The help they want is here, give you something. But you know, the best help that you can give somebody is give them advice. And if they don't take it, my dad always also says, if you can't take my advice, you can't take my money either. And the problem is with a lot of men, especially men nowadays, they don't teach their sons what they have done. Like my brother, that's my brother. My dad is a mechanic and he has been that since he was 19 years old. My dad had one job, and I'll tell y'all this story. My dad had one job his whole life. He's 79 years old, and that was for Ferrari. And the guy fired him erroneously and lied on him, say he scratched a car. And so my dad said from that point, I would never work for anybody else again. My brother don't punch a clock. He don't answer to nobody and has not done that in a very long time. And so what I'm saying is, I know for a fact that he has helped a lot of men. And I can bring them on here and they will tell you that he has helped them. And I also tell you the same thing about Donovan. Donovan has helped a copious amount of men. But I also tell you another thing about Donovan, and I told y'all this the other time when he wasn't on here. Donovan helps a lot of black women, and Donovan don't tell his story a lot. But Donovan helps a lot of black women, and it always, I would say 99% of the time, comes back to bite him in his ass. Because he loans them money, when he writes, you know, you go have to write an IOU or whatever, and he has to sue them or whatever. But I also tell you, Donovan once a year gives a scholarship to a black girl or going to college out of his own pocket. Donovan.
I have 2 girls that are now lawyers because I helped them.
Correct. So I could go on and on about the accomplishments of these brothers. Walter owns several businesses, and he always tells black men, whether they're his sons or friends or whoever, come get this money with me. Now, you can't make somebody come make money. That goes back to what I said. A lot of times people just want you to give them the money. I demand, just give me the money. I can tell you between both of these brothers right here, they probably out $100,000 over the money between the both of them that they've loaned or given people that have not given it back to them. Also, I think about somebody like Shaquille O'Neal. He's got kids. He says, my daughters will never want for nothing. I do not care what it is they need. He says, but my sons got to get it out the mud. My sons got to go and, you know, get it, whatever, because they're men and potentially they get married. They're going to have to take care of a woman. But he says, yeah, my sons, they got all they need. They daddy Shaquille O'Neal. They got education. They can ball whatever they're going to do, but they need to get it out the mud. So that's why traditional men don't just give men stuff. They're like, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Now, if you don't take this opportunity, then how much of a man can you really be? So that's why. So It's not simping. It's honorable. It's honorable for a man to want to help a woman. The pushback that I have, and Donovan will tell you this, or Walter will tell you this, I tell them, be careful who you help. Because some people, they say, I won't help, but they just want your resources. And unfortunately, somebody said in this comment section, you know, that there's people out there looking, you know, as the old people say, you see a fool, you bump his head, right? They're looking to use people. And unfortunately, in the culture, not all black women, I want to say that, but especially the demographics that you're talking about, the girl you saw at the gas pump, yeah, she was like, oh, okay. Somebody, Angela, said, the age difference that y'all have, she's a sugar baby. She saw you as a sugar daddy. And this is the other thing we need to question. Walter, with that lady at the pump, how many men took her up on that offer? And she probably says, okay, what's the numbers game? Maybe he gonna say yes too. But being honorable, you told her, no, I ain't into that. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not into that. And let me tell you, if I'm gonna spend $200-300, let's just say I was gonna pay her, give her $300-400 to pay for her books, pour the lit one candle coconut oil all over her, and just use her and abuse her and do it all night to the point where she walked out with her shoes in her hand. That don't do nothing for me. That takes from me. And as a grown, mature man, you have to get to the point where you say, okay, am I really going to waste my whole night for some stuff I can't tell nobody? But it ain't going to make me better. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to be dehydrated. I ain't going to get to work on time. Hell to the no. So and if I was going to do that, spend some money and pay for the booty, I would, man, there's plenty of resources out there. If you just want to spend some money, I would get what I want. Curves, hair length, everything. I'm just saying if I'm going there. So, and men, you call us a simp for wanting to help women. And I help dudes too. You saw the Mexican dude standing here when we started the podcast. That dude bought a car for me, and his whole family has bought cars for me. Little Mexican dude, he's 20 years old, got his own house, cars, everything. He said, my girlfriend, I told her I was working for you, and she quit her job, and she's effing with us. She's going to come upstairs and make candles, and I'm going to help you with these cars. To the point, even my son, Evan, who's kind of been like the golden child. Evan is, you know, Evan's had a good life. I sent all my kids a group text. I said, this Mexican kid is at my house at 5:45 a.m. and he is working, and I had to kick his ass out of here at 10 p.m. My son Evan was the first one here today. So the point I'm making is men can do this shit on their own. Men just need an example. My father woke me up and took me to work. He didn't say, "Do you want to go?" He just said, "Let's go." And I saw by example, wake up before the sun, and shut it down when the sun goes down. Black men, you need that. If you can't do that on your own, then you are I won't use the term, but I think Dr. Dre, they have a song, BNs, I don't know, bitch Negroes. I don't know the full term. Actually, I do. I just don't want to say it on YouTube.
Right. And please don't.
Man, you have the ability to see another man doing something and go from there. I ain't trying to spend all that time with no dude, because you're supposed to be the one to go out and get it. But now our culture, especially black men, we have become so soft and weak, and man, that's embarrassing. Black men, we need to cut that shit out.
Well, my thing is this, okay, what's his name called me a simp, and that's, conversation. I don't take that personal because I know I'm not a simp. But how in the hell does a man not think the woman is the first teacher? Who spends most time with children when they're young and doing all that? Who's feeding them? Who's talking to them? Who's singing to them? To me, if you think that a man is the first teacher, you're the simp, obviously, or you got an issue with your mama. I mean, I hate to say it, but anybody knows you spend most of your time, 9 months of your initial life, you're inside your mom's womb. So how could you not say it? I mean, to me, it's incredible how intelligent people can be, but yet at the same time ignorant.
You guys are black people. We are falling down. Black people, we are being exterminated, not only by the government and Joe Biden and racism. We are doing it to ourselves. I watched you guys' show this morning. I woke up at 2:00 so I can get shit done. And I watched your podcast while I was up this morning. And I was like, I saw the tweet about the basketball and the buns in basketball. And yeah, some black dude, supposedly has exploited these women. And then you find out it's a sister. Got black women out there with their booties out. Clap, 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 dribbling the ball. That has nothing to do with Jim Crow, the white man. This is an educated sister who's sitting up, who can sit on a talk show and explain her business concept. There's enough women out there who are willing to get on the court in a onesie with a snap that might open while you
floss. Not even a onesie, floss, dental floss.
I'm just talking about the button under the floss. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm blown away.
Hey, Jason, how you doing? He says, can you ask Walter, does he have any black men that work for him?
Come over here, sir. Let me introduce you guys. This is my man Hugo. This is my son Evan. Evan is black. Evan, he's black.
He's black.
He's black on his application. All right, yeah, no. We black, we all black when you pulled over. Shit. Next question. No.
Have you had black men work for you in the past?
Yeah, a bunch of them. Most of them. Tell them about Dominique.
Well, yeah, Dominique's in Utah now, right? Yeah, Dominique, Dominique was, shoot, he was like your son. Walter taught him the game. He's doing very well for himself. We should have Dominique come on here one day. Yeah, so that's a yes.
Yeah, his mom, when he was 15 and a half, was like, my son is going to be 16 and he needs a father figure, and that's you. And she was like, it wasn't a question. It was like, this is your role.
And his mom a hustler.
His mom's a hustler. I talk to him all the time. He's like, yo, Walter, what about this? I'm thinking about starting a business. I'm thinking about doing this. I'm like, dude, you got it. But yeah, you can show somebody better than you can tell them.
And I want to say this too. So when we say the mother is the first teacher, it's not to discount the man. That doesn't say that the man is irrelevant. We know he teaches the children too, But we're saying, you guys talk about, I need a traditional woman in a traditional sense. The mama, unless you a stay-at-home daddy, then yeah, you would probably be the first teacher, right? But if you're not a modern man, you're a traditional man, you out there getting it, and your woman is staying at home with the children. That's why she is the first teacher. I don't think a man is breastfeeding. So if she's breastfeeding that baby, she's got that baby near and with her most of the time, all the way up until that child goes to school. And then she's a stay-at-home mama, stay-at-home wife, and that child comes home. She is the first person that child sees. And I'm speaking from a point of view, and my brother too, that had a stay-at-home mama. So that's what I'm recalling to memory. My father was out in the all day. He had his own business. He owned his own shop. He was gone all day. So my mom was there when we got home. The teaching doesn't stop when you come from school. The teaching still happens. So that's why the mom is known as the first teacher, but it's not a dig at the daddy. And a lady, I'm gonna have to agree with her. That simp term came from this new age of, I don't even know where it comes from.
Yeah, well, and you also got to think about this, especially as men. I'm just talking to the black men. Let somebody talk bad about your mama. You ready to fight and kill. So how can you sit there and tell me your mother's not the first teacher? She has to be, because we are so defensive about our mamas. They even got songs about it. Mama, mama, you're the queen of my heart. You know what I mean?
That big old, he got every chance he get. Al says, how you doing? He says, you call Donovan that and this and that, but at the bank they call him Mr. Sadiq.
And they called me that today when I pulled out some money out of there today. I'm mad.
I had to calm my boy down. He was hot. We had to come to an understanding. I was like, yeah, that's a lot of Skrilla. I would have personally said, I'm not in the position to do that. He was upset.
But you guys got to understand, when it comes to money, I get sick spending over $60 at Winco. I mean, I'm one of the people, I don't like to spend money, even though, I like to have it. I just don't like to spend it because that's just not my thing. So I was a little upset today. So.
DJ Seguan says, I'm not calling y'all black men a simp to be disrespectful. I don't do that. It's y'all actions without thinking of the consequences. Henceforth, why old girl got you for a stack, stop simping. So you got it wrong. You're not listening. It wasn't an old girl. It was someone that became like his daughter, him and his girlfriend's daughter, for over 2 years. They helped her with everything. And, she didn't want to take advice. And so she left. But unfortunately, when she left stealing. So that's not simping. I mean, everybody that bump you over the head. I mean, because most of us, if we knew somebody was going to do us dirty, we probably wouldn't be in that situation. So it's like some of that got to be on the person that's, doing the dirt. So I just think when we call people names and we don't have a basis in doing it, I just think it's lazy. It's lazy to call people simps because, DJ, you might not do that and that's your choice. But that doesn't make a person a simp because they want to help people. And I know where you guys get that from. It comes from the internet of the manosphere where in a lot of cases, the woman is going to be demonized regardless of what she does, right? She's just no good. And any man that goes out there and helps her, oh, here's something wrong with him. You need to leave her in the dirt where you found her. She's not worthy. So that's kind of where that attitude comes from. And I think we need to reevaluate how we think about just other human beings in general. And I will say this, other races don't do that to their women. They don't call, not like we do. They don't call other men simps for helping the women in their race. So I think we need to kind of maybe think about that. But who am I? Let's see here. And Demetrius, how you doing? It says, and learning begins after the birth of the child. Yeah, it does. I mean, yeah, some people, it begins in the womb. But again, unless you a modern man, a Mr. Mom, and no shade to Mr. Mom, sometimes they woman is making more money and it's advantageous for the man to stay home. But if you're not a modern man, you're not the first teacher because you ain't home long enough to do that. Or if you're working from home, you ain't, kikiing and ha-ha and Googling with the baby all day, you getting the money. If you're a traditional man, because your woman ain't out there on the stroll, busting a hustle. You doing that. So how are you the first teacher as the man if you working all day or night? I'm just asking. And now, you know what? Let me.
No, because men are supposed to go to work, and the wives are supposed to stay home and make the home. That's why they come up with the word. The word homemaker means you make the home. You take care of the house. The man brings home the money, and you keep the house in order. And there was a good cartoon out. Wait till your father gets home. What it was in code is if you screw up, your father is whooping your ass. Well, you guys can Google it. Wait till your father gets. Remember that? Wait till your father gets. That was a whole song.
Wait till your father gets home.
You had Tom Bosley as the lead voice.
Tom Bosley, the Happy Days, was the dad, and he would tear shop up when he got home. That's the dad's role. Go out and make money, come home, make sure the house is straight, so the woman can stay home, not work, and make sure everything is cool. But women, y'all wanted equal rights and all that dumb shit, so now you are making money versus holding your man to the fire.
Yeah, well, I ain't never asked for that, okay? I'm just going to keep it 100.
Like, you don't want to be equal. That's working 10 hours a day, sweating, changing clothes, like going to the... Never mind. Yeah, that's just stupid.
I mean, my air conditioning hose, it needed some new insulation. So I just happened to be out there because I ain't outside. Out here in Texas, you might see a snake or something. So I don't too much like to go out there. But I was just out there one day and I said, the insulation is coming off. So I went on Amazon and got all the stuff I needed. And I'm out there sweating. My daughter's handing me the stuff as I'm fixing it or whatever. I'm like, I don't want to be doing this, but I did.
I mean, women just aren't built for that type of work. That's why you have men that have broad shoulders. Women have the hips. There's a reason we're built the way we're built.
Hello, Monica says, if you're courting a woman who continuously asks you to buy her things, especially pricey items, or pay her bills, isn't looking to be your wife for life. If she fools you for real, she'll never ask. If she fools with you, rather, she'll never ask you for anything. I mean, I get where you're going with that, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a woman asking you for stuff. Just make sure that's your woman. You know what I mean? Make sure that's your woman. As I said, I know a lot of men think they got to, spend a whole bag on a woman on the first date. You spend money on a woman that's yours. The first date is like some coffee. Somebody said a walk in the park, or I don't know if I want to go to the park with a man I just met, but somewhere where it don't cost that much money. But y'all out there spending racks on a woman you don't know, and then you get mad when she says, "Well, I'm just not that into you." Then y'all get on the internet mad at women because you did not, do your due diligence. Spending that kind of money in somebody, okay, you are my woman, we go together and all of that, right? And then to your point, if she's financially responsible, she ain't gonna want you out there spending no $400-500 on a dinner with her unless you like Jeff Bezos or something. But so I get where you're going with that. All right, I'm gonna throw the link up in here. Hey, your average logical thinker, how you doing? Hello, Tammy. What's going on with you? Let's see here. DJ, you says it. I know it's not a shot at the daddies. Black women aren't teaching anymore. Hence, why we have the term. I got you. Laugh out loud again. Search Kevin Samuels was right. I mean, Kevin Samuels was right about a lot of things, but he was off basis. I'm gonna say this, okay? I have to take a deep breath when I said that. When Kevin Samuels first came out, because he was out for a while before the Average at Best video came out, but he was talking to y'all. When I say he's talking to y'all, he's talking to men. But when he got the attention for talking to the women in a very austere manner, then that's when most of y'all glommed on to Kevin. Y'all was like, yeah, get her. But then before Kevin died, he started to come full circle, and he was actually giving y'all good advice. And so the problem that I have with a lot of men that talk about Kevin Samuels, y'all talk him, but y'all don't walk him. Because if y'all walk Kevin Samuels, I would actually be doing the things that he said to do. So he was right about a lot of things, but I hate to see a lot of these men and even some of the women on the internet that try to take Kevin's stuff, and it's so off. It's like giving Kevin Samuels teachings a black eye. Because one thing I'll say about Kevin Samuels is he rarely got on the internet. Like, he didn't open with, okay, this is how I feel. Because if y'all follow him, he says, I don't care about your feelings, man. You shouldn't be talking about your feelings. He backed his stuff up with data, history, research. But the people on there now just bumping your gums. You're just plagiarizing the stuff, and you got it all wrong. So I would say, you're going to talk about Kevin Samuels, really do it justice. Don't just, nitpick certain things that you heard him say about women, but you didn't hear him say nothing about y'all. You know what I mean?
Dude, Kevin Samuels was the man. His approach was off, which is why he was so popular. Because you guys were going through.
I think he was more of shock. He's just like shock. Just throw it out there and it shocked people.
No, because he was trying to educate people the right way and be all nice and give you the applesauce with the medicine wrapped in it, and you didn't respond. And then when he started saying, well, whatever he was saying, then he got popular. Because I saw some of his videos. He was talking to black men, not crazy, but correct. You ain't shit. You get your stuff together. You ain't the type of man that deserves to be with a woman because you're not ready. I saw all those videos. Remember, he was in his car, video from the phone. He was like, man, you're not ready to date a woman. Go back home until you're ready. But when he started saying that to women, then he blew up, which makes me feel like maybe women aren't in a position to take advice. Period.
I mean, and I say that, like I tell Donovan and Black America and a couple of people, y'all can't tell me about black women. I know about black women. I know there's some hard-headed ass sisters out there. You can't say nothing to. I know that. I'm never gonna be one up here say, oh, we got it all together. We don't be. I know, but somewhere in there, but that comes from, and Donovan and I have this conversation, not our generation. I'm 52. Donovan's 83. Walter's older than that. But our generation, they have stopped teaching, and it kind of started with our parents' generation. It's got kind of like watered down. And so, we do need to go back to the old school teaching our children from the cradle, teaching them things. Like, you can't teach them when they're, getting ready to be 18 and out the house and, all that kind of stuff. You got to teach them from very young what it is that they should know, right? Set expectations in all of that. And Brina, you're right. Fathers enforce the discipline and education that mom puts on the children. So yeah, absolutely. Okay, let me put the link in here. Y'all want to come on here and say something? All I ask is that if I don't know you, I haven't seen you come up here before, just show me your face really quick before I bring you up. And if you don't want to be seen, just put your picture back up or whatever to hide your face, and that's cool. But it's in the YouTube comments, and I'm gonna skip down to the bottom, acknowledging people that I have not already, just to kind of catch up. So the link is in there if y'all want to come on here. Marcella, how you doing? It says, me and my husband met, and he asked me to marry him 2 weeks later. We got married 2 weeks after that, so we only knew each other a month, and that's of today. We've been married 42 years. Wow. Like they say, when you know, right? I love that. Y'all knew, right? So I'm glad that it has worked out. That could be the case. You don't need to have 100-year-long engagements and all that other stuff. That's ridiculous. You know what, a lady, you tripping. Talk about Kevin Samuels carried purses and fanny packs. Enough said. I think it was a bag. There's a lot of men who carry bags per se. I don't know about no purse. Yeah, exactly, Tisha. If you got to spend a stack on a date, yeah, that ain't for you. You got to get my hair done. And my daughter was showing me something the other day, and it was a sister. She said in order to go on a date, he's got to pay for her nails, her hair, outfit, because she got to be cute for him, even if it's a first date or whatever. I'm like, well, what man is gonna send a woman money to be cute for him? I mean, I'm thinking that's something you should already be cute, right? Was you cute when you met? So why do you need to, go above it? Why does he need to go above and beyond to even take you out on the date? That's crazy to me. But she says, yeah, there's a lot of young women who think that way. He got to, spend a bag just to even get to go out with me. That's tricking. All right, let's see. DJ he says, when I say Kevin Samuels with hashtag Kevin Samuels is right. Mine is a lived experience. There's a difference versus someone having an N-word wake up moment. I speak on this. Kevin Samuels is right is my hashtag. Okay, so that is your hashtag. All right, well, come on here. I want to talk to you. What was he right about? If you could be specific, I'm gonna put the link in the comment section again. Y'all want to come on here? Please feel free to do that. Also, just ask that be brief. Don't lean into the microphone too long. Let's see here. Brina says, no disrespect, but all his data hasn't seemed to be factual. So not all of it. Now, you're right. Some of the stuff like the Moynihan report, when he used that as a basis to try to say, and I'm paraphrasing because it was so long ago when I saw it, Black women being single moms and stuff. The Moynihan report was racist and it left out a lot of other important data. But unfortunately, a lot of people ran away with it.
Right, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
You just said the Moynihan report was racist. Mr. Moynihan was a Republican or was he a Democrat?
I forget. I don't know.
He was a Democrat.
So yeah, well, I mean, they're one and the same, right? Yeah, but but a lot of news stations, because that one that we saw, they did it in the early 80s about all the Black single mamas. That was kind of based off of the Moynihan report. So a lot of people ran away with the data in the Moynihan report, but it wasn't. It just left off so much stuff, like systemic and institutional racism. It indicted the Black woman and her being a single mom, but it didn't give it the full context. Does it make any sense?
I'm gonna grab one of these comments if that's cool.
Sure. Where is it at? I'll put it up.
Pinky Wells, how did Kevin Samuel help us? I like this picture with this brother in the picture with his wife. We need more of that.
Yes, that's Brother Stanley. He hasn't been on here for a while, but he's come back every once in a while. How you doing, Stanley?
Because I tell you, do it like that. You put your woman in the picture, that gets rid of all kinds of stuff.
Sometimes.
You have to be a cold piece to approach a man when him and his woman in the picture together.
Y'all ain't trying to come on here. What? The cat got your tongue? What's going on?
Well, Pinky Wells also said, how did Kevin Samuels help us or whatever the deal is? Well, he showed us how delusional we are as a people. And that's not just women, that's men too. We are delusional. We are sitting around here thinking everything is fine and copacetic because we have a few Black servants that we elect making millions of dollars, a few Black entertainers making millions of dollars, when right here in California, over 30% of the homeless population is Black, and over 50% of the eviction rates in California are Black women. And we're walking around thinking everything is fine and the Democratic Party is going to save us. Trump is the boogeyman and all this other stuff. That's what Kevin Samuels, to me, basically showed us, how delusional we are as a people, period.
Absolutely. Hello, DJ. Give me 1 second. TG says, Kevin Samuels made his money off of low-hanging fruit and was moving toward a more mature, upscale audience. I wonder if folks knew he had a private group. I knew. Says by invite only, and that's where he was turning his focus. They cherry-picked what Kevin Samuels said. Yeah, I totally agree. I know his group that he talked about where he actually did matchmaking, if you will, and hooked people up. So he was his material for me was becoming a little bit more palatable, but that other stuff, boy, was like, yeah. All right, DJ Segwan. I hope I'm saying your name. What's going on with you, brother?
Everything's good, big sister. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Peace to the Black people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'll get straight to the point because I don't want to overtake the show. Appreciate you for having me. And I'll post your live in your fundedsocially.com where we are building up everything Black. So hashtag Kevin Samuels was right. So what was he right about? A lot of the stuff. And I'm not saying he was right about everything because that would be wrong to say that you're just right about everything. You know what I mean? So again, only thing I could really say without taking up too much of anyone's time or shifting the conversation, hashtag Kevin Samuels is right. Get on Twitter. You'll see the information there. So shout out to my boy News Starter. We've had two segments the last 2 nights talking about Tommy Sotomayor, things Umar Johnson was saying. These brothers wasn't right about anything because a lot of the times they pander to these women and be more or less of a womanizer, argument, in my opinion. So again, Kevin Samuels was right. Hey, look, when you said in the beginning, he was teaching us men, how to dress, how to talk, how to do certain things. And I said, dang, when I first saw this, I said, man, there used to be brothers in the community that used to teach this stuff. You know what I mean? How you should tie your tie. When you go to dinner, this is how you should talk. This is how you should court a lady. You know, this is what you need to do in your life. Those type of things. They're missing from the Black community. Remember, in the school system or the education system, they took away, what you call it, auto mechanics, home health aid, all these things. They're not here. I know that's kind of shocking, but over here on the East Coast in North New Jersey, they took that stuff out in the top 90s. So when you say a lot of people aren't being educated or whatever the case be, and when I say, hey, help a man out, help a brother out more versus helping these women out, because every time you turn around, there are options and what's the word I would be looking for? Just, anything that's surrounding helping a woman nowadays. You see it in business. Dr. Hassan T. Johnson broke this down. He has a video that's very powerful called Black Men, You're Not Invited to the Party. When Goldman Sachs put that article out that they will be investing $10 billion into Black women business. Well, hold up a minute. What about when you're going to do something for Black men? Same thing. Ice Cube, when he went on the, the Fox Soul show, and he's talking about the contract with Black America. Most of us saw that already. Hey,
they beat his ass up.
Yeah, they chewed him. They chewed him up so much, like one, that he actually did what it was. Vivica, hey, look, we need our own stuff for Black women. Well, hold up. Ice Cube said, aren't we all Black people? And they, just pretty much egged them and ever. So now when you go look at the contract for Black America, he has a section in there separately for women, but that doesn't make sense. It just seems to be, and I get this a lot too, that there seems to be this gender war going on in the Black community. I really don't think that's true. I think it's just us online that have particular issues with relationships and, man, unfortunately, just doing this hashtag thing and talking to folks. A lot of us Black men, you're right, Demetria. A lot of us Black men got issues with the Black mother because a lot of the Black mothers kept the Black man from the father for whatever the reason. So these men are older now. And I'm not a counselor. I'm not a psychologist of any kind. But, man, I've been having to do some counseling, man. So when we say Kevin Samuels was right, yes, it was really more towards us men and what we need to do, not about going on y'all women in any light, shape, size, or form. So when you said, hey, he's a shock jock, well, maybe in some ways, I guess it's entertainment, you know what I mean? But when he told that one lady, hey, you're average at best, remember, go back and listen to what she was saying and what her preferences were, what she wanted in a man. You're expecting way too much. So when we talk about the economics in this country and what Black people make, the average Black person don't make more than $50,000 a year. So how are you expecting a high value man that makes 100? He got his own That's not adding up. But go ahead though.
Absolutely.
No, Kevin Samuels he was right a lot of the time. Listen, women, you are so hard on yourselves when it comes to your appearance and your behavior. I have so many female friends. They will get dressed up to the T, not for their man, but for their women out there. So listen, women, Kevin, when he said average at best, he was correct. Yeah, he could have said it differently, but you can't expect a man, and I don't know why we put so much emphasis on height in the Black. He needs to be 6 feet and this. He needs to make this money. He needs to come home and take the bacon. That dude has too many options for a chick that is lazy, ain't getting up. He's probably got 60, 70 pounds, too much on her. That dude is not chasing you. And that's what he was saying. As men, I can't be a fat ass dude and have no money, expect to go pull a dime piece. That's delusional. I gotta wake up and get the gym and go, and maybe this 10 will even look my way.
Donovan, I'll see your comment down there.
Okay, I ain't gonna talk about Lizzo because I'm gonna leave Lizzo out of it. She's getting her money.
Leave Lizzo out of it.
If every woman acted like
no,
Lizzo,
see, you took it wrong. It isn't Lizzo. If big women,
Hold on. I want to get to Sheila Trey and Brother Stanley. So, Sheila Trey, how are you doing?
Lizzo.
Yeah, I am doing well. I had to spell my name out so you can get it.
I know, because all these years, I'm still, but I love and appreciate you for that, though.
Hey, look, I'm proud of you guys for having the courage to have this open forum. I mean, I'm back in the days when it was just you and Donovan just really chopping it up. So let me say this. My thing is not even with women. It's the pandering black male. The pandering black male allows this fantasy and illusion to actually exist because he's pandering so much. He's not even logical. Then there's the other logical or more mature black males who just don't want to be involved in some of these conversations. Because the pandering black male will fist fight you for not agreeing with some of the things that matriarch people bring to the table. Matriarch males, matriarch women. Matriarch women even got an issue with patriarch women. Pick me, mammy, just attacking women who don't agree with them. You know what I'm saying? Let's take the guys out of it for a minute. Why are women attacking women because they want to be son first or they appreciate their husband? And what are you supposed to do with that as a pandering black male? There's nobody to beat up. You can't go fist fight the patriarch woman, but you're waiting for a guy to say something different. No, one mic on Sheila. It's all about her. You know what? This community is too funny now. And it's going beyond the internet. Look at what's happening in the workforce. There's a division there too. Think about that. There's a division there. You know what? Leroy's not qualified enough, while Asian Ling Sing, she don't feel like that about her unqualified Asian man. The Filipinos, she don't feel that way about her unqualified.
Don't get started about the Filipinos, man. I know 50 Filipino couples, and 47 of those couples, they women run the shit from morning, noon, and night and treat they dudes like they on top of the world. I know one of my homegirls is Filipino, and she's like, you know what? My culture, we make sure the house is straight no matter what, period. And we don't do our men like that.
Let me even get back real quick to his point. Let's take it away from their immediate household. The workforce. Somebody she ain't even dating. Let me bring him in. Let me use my name, get some other Tongala people together and get him in. Wait a minute. He don't even know what Control-Alt-Delete is. That don't matter. Let's try to get him to 70K position. But not in this culture. In this culture, and I'm ending right here. In this culture, it's like, I'm going to fist fight you as another black man because you're not agreeing with this lady over here. Whoa, brother, we in the church, ain't we? Why are you so angry? Because you need to think about our women. Brother, calm down. You know what? I'm just going to remove myself. And now you have less and less men willing to be involved in some of these organizations and some of these conversations because the pandering black man is doing worse than the women, in my view.
Jesus.
And then before I give it to you, Brother Stanley, yeah, I definitely agree with that. It does seem to be an issue there, but I will tell y'all this, and I've said this, and I know I've gotten in a lot of trouble for saying this, and I think as a black woman that I can say this. Nobody hates a black woman like a black woman. And I always say this, and I'm a black woman, so I love black women. So I hate that I have to even preface stuff because I feel like somebody will get offended. Because a lot of times we as black women, we talk about how we're most disrespected, unprotected. And I think that's true for the most part, right? Brother Phil actually made this good example. He says, black women talk about you the most disrespected, most unprotected. He says, and you like to quote Malcolm, but you're not taking into account the women that Malcolm was talking about. He said, those women don't really exist like that no more. He was talking about the MGT, and more other, respectable women that truly were in a position to be. And I'm not saying black women are not in today's time, but that gets misapplied. And so when I go back to nobody hates a black woman like a black woman, because as a black woman, I've had some heinous things done to me by black women, done to me, said to me. So I'm one of those women, I can't disagree with that, especially in the workplace. I've had black women hate on me in the workplace, and partially help me get fired, and just the lot, because there's a lot of jealousy. And then a lot of times too, like you said, when black women do get in powers of position, instead of, and I'm not saying there's no black women that don't do this, But a lot of times they don't. They don't bring everybody else with them. It's almost like a power trip. You know what I mean? So anyway, Brother Stanley, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
Well,
Long time no see.
Yes, indeed. What's on your mind, brother?
Nothing. I just jumped in not too long ago and I heard y'all was asking the question like, how was Kevin Samuels right? And as a married man, me and my wife, we used to just watch it just for content, just so we could see what's going on out there in the non-married world, so to speak, because he didn't really talk to a lot of married people because they already had, this stuff going on. And like he would say, he couldn't step on a man who was already running his house. So he wouldn't even advise a lot of married women. But he was right in the sense where he was telling us that these are the type of women out here. These are the type of women that are in the dating game. And they actually called up and proved who they were. And the fact that a lot of these pandering men, they don't get no they don't get no pushback of no type. And Kevin Samuels, when he died, got all the pushback in the world for dying. It seems like that goes to show that he was right. This world is so topsy turvy that evil is good, like Brother Phil say, evil is good and good is bad now. So that's the world that we living in. And when somebody is advocating for families, marriages, strong, healthy unities, and that person is looked at as somebody evil and somebody bad, versus we got all this LGBT crap going on and all this twerking out in public or twerking at the ancestor sites and stuff like that, that's not frowned upon, then we really need to do a check. We really do. We need to do a check with ourselves, and we need to call out the BS, and we need to give props to the people that are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
And I mean, yeah, I agree with you in regards to a lot of stuff that we see in society. I'm just one of those people, I have a 30-year-old daughter. I think I said that too loud, but I have a 30-year-old daughter, and I got nieces, and other women who come to me for advice. And I just think that's because I don't want to say I'm a matriarch. I don't think I'm quite that old, but they come to me for advice, and I don't candy coat. I'm not one of those women that say, girl, F him and all this other stuff. I'll say, well, you chose him, didn't you? You knew the job was dangerous before you took it, so how do we get through this? That's the conversation that we have. I don't go on a, man ain't this, that, and the other, because I think we do the younger women a disservice when we don't tell them, well, what role did you play in it? You know what I mean? Like, what did you do? So that's where the teaching comes in. But as far as holding them accountable, like I said, the young women in my life, I hold them accountable. If I saw the young women in my life doing that stuff out there twerking, they wouldn't do it no more. I'm telling you that. And I'll give you guys a story. There was a young woman, back in the day when twerking on the internet seemed to be a thing for some reason. So I saw it. I said, oh, hell to the no. And I called her. I said, you take that down right now. But I'm grown. I said, you ain't going to be grown for too long when I get a hold of you. And she took it down. So that's where we got to be. We can't, when they grown, can't say nothing to them. And that's the other unfortunate part. A lot of them you can't say anything to because you can't say anything to their mama. Can't say anything to their grandmama. So they just pass that down. And then they get out there in a bad way. And it's like, well, nobody can say nothing to you. You're like, what do? We can't help you. So
it's worse than that. Lil Wayne said it best. I can't blame Tammy because a hoe is a hoe. You can't see. I know y'all didn't expect me to quote Lil Wayne, but I know a little bit about this. The sad part is you see, like, first of all, this whole twerking thing. Women, like I saw this article on Jonah Hill, the dude whose his sister is, I don't know, anyways. Jonah Hill is.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Right? He sent his woman a text message, and I guess she put him out, and so they put the text message on Twitter. He goes, listen, and he was really nice. I care about you, but if you need to put your shit out to the internet for other dudes to to Google and Gaga and go over you, I'm not the relationship for you. I care about you. I hope you do well. But if you want to have your titties out and blah, 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 I'm not your man. And he was super respectful.
Right.
And the internet ate his ass up. How can he say that to her? Women, and I've said this to girls, and I met a really nice girl, but her Instagram page is like, get a look at my booty. I'm getting out the pool in slow motion. My booty up in. I'm like, ain't no man. He want to hit it and quit it, and he might hit it 2 times if he can find the time. Women, men, like we are attracted, and real men. I know, like men, we want to see the freakazoid, but like if you twerking in my kitchen, I'm not calling you back. You ain't meeting my mama. Women, at what point do you say, you know what, enough is enough? I have 2 daughters, and I can promise you, I will shake the shit out of both of them at risk of whatever who I don't care who got what to say. We need that in your life. The problem is so many of these men and women, men doing it too. They out there twerking, hanging out with Billy Porter, and the shit's getting out of control. But if I saw my daughter put a video, my youngest daughter, her and her 2 college student, 4.5 plus GPA, brilliant presidential kids, did this video on Rake It Up and put it on Instagram. And let me tell you, before I can even get to her, my sons had wore her ass out to the point where she was like hiding from us. And I was like, I will kill you if I ever see that shit again. And she took it down. And she's like, I'm sorry. We need that. I was like, I told her, Mama, don't even get me started. Because I want to see her grow up to meet a dude that's going to build whatever they're going to build together. But if her ass cheeks are shaking on the internet, women, keep it real. Ain't no man going to want to keep you around.
I'm gonna answer this question. I don't know if maybe y'all can answer this question, but I don't know if y'all saw, I don't know the guy's name. I guess he's Tom Brady's friend, or he was a football player too. And I wish I knew his name, but he did a video.
Talking about Antonio Brown.
No, he's a white guy. And I guess the rumor is that Tom Brady is dating Kim Kardashian. And when I tell you this white dude went on the internet, he was like, no, you cannot date her. You're the best of us. If you date her, he says she's a dirty A-lister. She effed on camera, and that's why her whole family's rich. No, we cannot have you having Kris Jenner managing your life and and hanging out with that one guy who gave Chloe or had all the babies on Chloe. He says she's garbage. There's a whole lot of other women you could date, but he says you cannot. We won't allow you to date her. Y'all have to look it up. I was like, oh my God. But then I thought about it. I said, white dudes are like, nah, we said you can't do it. And I was like, gosh, most people would be afraid to say that about Kim Kardashian. I mean, when I tell you he dragged her and her family from here to there, but he was like, Tom, you are the greatest of everything, and you cannot date her. He said, I don't care. We won't allow it. But I was like, it's messed up. I don't know. I don't have a lot of opinion about Kim Kardashian, but he did. And he was like, we care what people think about you. If you date a woman like that, he says, yeah, she's a gajillionaire is what he said. He says, but that don't make her dateable. He says, like, consider where she's been. I mean, he called her a hooker, for lack of better words.
So let me explain it politically. What happens in Hawaiian, no, better yet, Chinese culture, Song Dynasty. Song Dynasty person is an image of some level of ascendance in some of Chinese culture. So when one of the Song Dynasty connected celebrities, you want them to keep that pristine point of view. Scottish people, same thing. Latinas and Latinos, the same thing. What you got to understand is for the Cleveland, Boston, and that type of area crowd, California Tom is the image of the male perfection to a degree. It's not like our community where we try to crack jokes and make fun of our heroes and encourage our children to question and make fun of our heroes. In these other cultures, Robert Kraft can do no wrong, and Robert Kraft is going to get other Robert Krafts to wipe his conviction clean. Listen to me, black men, for those who know politics. The Robert Krafts of the world, I know Donovan knows, I ain't even got a question, Donovan. The Robert Krafts of the world, they don't care if he did wrong, don't care if he got caught. They want to protect the image. They're not like us, where we crack jokes and make fun and bring down our own heroes. It's not like that. So to understand it, Demetra, is these people, even if they gotta pretend to be in a perfect light, they want their grandsons, key word here, to be able to come into this world and see Tom and say, get like him. He's the pristine of us. Get like Robert Kraft. Now that we done wiped his thing, he's the pristine of us. While black folks allow their images to be smeared, and then who are our sons looking up to? The gangs, the thieves. We don't even have a Ed OG rapper no more. Be a father to your child. We don't have none of this good stuff that we used to have
That was
because
a cut.
Yep.
because
Be a
we're
father to your child.
because we're constantly shouting down our heroes, and males, we allow it.
So
That was
let me,
fire.
let,
I'm
let me,
gonna play that song tonight. Be a father to. See,
wait,
that's
hold
the
on a
type
second.
of
Before you
stuff.
go off of that, not to cut you off, let me answer Thunder's question real quick. It says, would black women have a problem of black men, if black men rather started a black patriarchy? And if so, why would this be a problem? I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I guess the question I'm having, do y'all need to start a black patriarchy? Because I know it is said that the black community is really kind of one of the only communities that run more matriarchal, where the woman seems to be in charge. Where as other communities, the men are in charge. But is that something y'all have to start, or is that like it's there? Like what are we doing here?
There are
I
three
thought
of
I
them.
thought it
There are
started.
three
I
of them.
thought it started at home.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it's supposed to start at. And then if you think about the words, let's talk about wording because I like to write music. So we talk about words, definitions. You got to study multiple dictionaries and thesauruses in order to know what certain words mean. So when you say matriarchal, that's just strictly in America. Because if you go anywhere else in the world, it's a patriarchal society. The man run the culture or the community and the governments and all this other stuff. So I don't think it will be a problem if we were to have something like that. And shout out to the okprogram.org, okprogram.org. They're in California and somewhere over in Kansas. Strictly black men teaching black youth, kind of like I guess Obama, my brother's keeper or whatever. So you could look into them and support them. But there are black men out here that are doing things to try to, put black men into a higher light. But black women always shoot it down. And again, the perfect example of that was what we saw with Ice Cube over at the Fox Soul. So it's like, I don't know how that will work. And to Stanley, I know you said you married and you and your wife, y'all watch the Kevin Samuels and the Manosphere and all this other stuff for the information and the educational. But what I've been telling folks lately that are married or in committed relationships, not even to look this way, because then you really think about it, it's indoctrinating. If you've been with your soulmate, what you need to look at this for, but other than
Yeah,
entertainment, you
but
know what I mean? You feel me?
I feel you on that, but it's not for me because I got children in their 20s. So if I'm gonna be abreast on what's going on out there, I need to know. I need to keep my ear to the street. That's all that was.
So
No, I'm
so so
good.
there so there are three of them, but they're in the white collar type of level, and they're not publicly in spaces. So I'm part of one of them, and one of the arguments is simply this: we got too many men that. So the organization I'm part of, I'm not going to mention it because they're not launching as of yet. But there's the one I'm part of. We're a son first type of mentality. That don't swallow well with a lot of black men. A lot of black men naturally want to fight against that. Even if we're not talking against women, even if we're not bashing other brothers, there are men in our community that just simply hate to see a son first group. And we're trying to work through how that presentation will go, the arguments that would come on stage or in the news, and how that would be countered before there's even a launch. Because again, the male community, man, I don't like that, man. We got to include the women. And that just happens all the time. So we're going to have to work through that to truly have this. Because patriarch just means that your son invested. Matriarch just means, this is dictionary talk. Donovan knows. Matriarch just means that your daughter invested. If just like the hyenas could care less about the son. He is the fifth one in the family. They don't care whether he lives or dies. They only care about the daughter. So there are three of them I know of. I'm part of one. It's just that our biggest hurdle is other black men are gonna attack us because we're not including women, and we know that.
So let me ask y'all this, because who said this? I think your DJ was you. Says black. You're basically saying something, and I'm paraphrasing, but like black women will shoot down the patriarchy or something like that. And I've kind of heard this argument before, almost like the black woman won't let us. And I actually said this to Donovan. I mean, why are y'all waiting for her to let you do anything? And I think that's kind of the problem. And Janelle, how you doing, by the way? Says the black man needs to put their foot down firm. So my question is, why are you saying, ma'am, you mind if I take the lead? Why are you asking her? Just do it. Because that's what leaders do, right? I mean, I know you got to be considerate, but you don't have to ask her. Just do it. Just take the lead. But maybe I'm simplifying it too much. I don't know. Because I hear what you say, you know, about if a black man want a group, then he got to bring in the black woman. But there's a lot of black women groups. You couldn't get your black ass in for nothing. Ain't no man coming up in here. You know, there's a lot of black women clubs and ain't not one man up in there. So if a woman is saying, well, we need, or even a man, to me, that's suspect. If a man said, well, we need to have some women in here. Why? This is a male space. This is where a male think tank or whatever it is. Why do we need to have feminine energy in here? Which I would tend to think that if a woman wants to be involved with what men are doing, that's more masculine. So I tell her no, or tell him no. Ain't no woman coming up here. Like Al Bundy, they had a group, right? No, ma'am. That was the name of their group. No, ma'am. No women allowed.
Hey, let me say this, based off what Janelle right here is saying, man, put your foot down, right? We don't need permission to do what we need to do for our community. Just do the damn thing. But back to what another commenter said, well, why are we always using celebrities to, simplify things and explain things? Well, that's the most recent public thing. You feel what I'm saying? So when Ice Cube came on the Fox Soul show again and said, hey, he wants to do things for all black people, and we're going to have businesses at these NFL stadiums and ball arenas and stuff like that. It was the black women, all four of them, who shut Ice Cube down and said, well, no, we need our own thing. So it's like Ice Cube had to cave in a little bit. And he, again, when you go on the contract with Black America, you have a section that is solely for women. So as long as I guess maybe if women are saying, hey, look, we need our own thing, hey, I think men need to start doing the same thing. But it seems to be splitting the community apart. You know what I mean? If one person is no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Let me just push back a little bit, because I remember, Ice Cube went on Queen's Cocktails, whatever it's called, with Vivica and them, and they was, what about black women? And he did say, well, ain't you black? That's, it's for Black America, black people, right? But my thing is, you said, he got pushback. What would have been a problem if he would have said, so what? I wrote what I wrote. you are a black people, that includes black women. Why are y'all muddying the waters with, doing this gender thing? What would have been the problem with him saying that? Because listen, y'all see what I'm rocking. If you ain't an Ice Cube fan, you wasn't gonna be one now. So the point that I'm making is he wasn't gonna lose no fans if he would have said, women, I said what I said. Okay.
Yeah. He
What
wouldn't
would have been the problem?
he wouldn't have lost any real fans. Yeah, just real quick. He wouldn't have lost any real fans, but that would have been where the conversation ended, right there. If he would have just stuck to his guns and said what you just said, that conversation would have ended right there, and all you would have heard was a bunch of screeching after that.
And look, Stanley, he did give them the ultimate pushback, but he got jumped on. So it's like he can't say, I'm not going to. He on live TV getting jumped on by 4 black women talking about helping the black community.
Ice Cube,
not black women or black women solely, the community as a whole. So it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I hear what y'all saying. Financially speaking, Ice Cube probably got more money than all them put together. Mm-hmm. So
True.
He
do have more money, all of them put together. I know 2 of them. I've met and know 2 of them. He do have more money than all of them. But here is the issue: Ice Cube is a businessman, and he's thinking about his future income. I'm sure to some degree. So that whole cancel culture thing is an issue with everybody. And the black woman is not in a position to lead the black race. It is the black man. And when you have somebody like Ice Cube that is fighting our women on public TV, well, he can't get a word in.
Right.
Snow Whitey start looking like a better option. That's damn.
So let's be clear, and shout out to Michael Moore, co-writer, co-creator of Married with Children, that black man. Shout out to you, brother, for creating Married with Children. But a lot of people don't know.
That's the stuff we need to hear about, because that was a funny ass show.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize the black man was the co-creator.
One of the best comedies on TV to this day, man.
So here's the thing, though, Mr. Reacher, is that and I said this 3 times on your platform. When people like Stacey Abrams get up here and say, "Well, you black men didn't understand," or when somebody on CNN says, you black men need to get behind black women because we taking over. And then a year and a half later, all the black women get kicked out of the Democrat Party. Or you get Robin tackling people for Biden, and later she gets kicked out of the Democratic Party. What you have is a group of people who create war and chaos when there's peace and butterflies in the air. We have some of our ladies who, for some reason, come out the clear blue sky and do what they do. So to your question, you can see C-Lay Trey on, I was on Fox Soul. I've been on Fox News. You will see me say something patriarch, and I guarantee the black males, not more so the women. This is very funny for people to understand. The black males will be the first ones off the microphone saying, "Well, that ain't for me. He don't speak for me." And yeah. And then here go Brookings Institute. Black men seem to be against C-Lay Trey's message on male patriarch. CNN will pick it up. C-Lay Trey gets pushed back from black men. Donovan knows that's how it starts politically.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess because I've seen different examples in men, and I always tell you men this. Women, and actually I learned this from my mom in regards to raising children. She says, you ever see some people's children, they just bad. They just do whatever they want. They just running around. They never get any direction. She says, children actually like when you discipline them. I ain't talking about abuse, but discipline. Sit down, time to go to bed. You got a bedtime at 7:30, 8 o'clock. She says because they don't really, they ain't been here long enough to know what to do. And it's stressful for them. And so I'm not trying to liken women to children, but a woman likes when a man takes the lead. Honey, you're doing too much. Sit down. Stanley, you married I know you can speak to that, and not that, and that's
Oh
not
yeah.
demeaning your wife. And I'm not saying
No,
this is
it's
even
not.
your wife's situation, but women like that. Oh, okay, all right, honey, all right. To me, that's a turn on when your man is. I'm gonna need you to sit, button your lip, sit down. I got this.
You are you are absolutely right about that, Demetri. If I ever had to check her on something, she might have been taken aback for a second, but then she'll always come back and be like, you know what, I appreciate that. You keeping me straight. And it's like a respect is renewed or refreshed in that moment. Like, you know what? Yeah, you had to put me back in my place. I appreciate that. So you are absolutely right about that.
And the other thing too is a woman who understands her man, and I know somebody gonna get mad when I say this, her position in the relationship, she knows how to get him to move on something without nagging, or you better listen to what I say. You don't tell me what to do. I said, okay, honey, if you think that if he tells you no, you think that's best, all right, I understand. But have you thought about it this way? What if I help with A, B, C, and D? Right? It's negotiations, but you're using your femininity to do it. You're not usurping him, or you're not taking it from him. Well, you don't know what you're talking about, sucker. I'm a, it's a way to do it. And your man will probably say, I'm gonna see if I could, get her what she wants, or if I can meet her halfway. But he ain't gonna budge if you trying to take it from her. Because my dad always says, I don't care what you say, ain't no woman taking my manhood. No way, shape, or form. I'm the man, and I got this. She's not gonna come in here and you do this and you do that. You ain't this and you ain't that, because she ain't gonna be here long.
It's an ultimate turnoff.
Mm-hmm. Black America was up here, but he clicked off. So I don't know. He's probably on his motorcycle. Donovan, you've been kind of quiet up there.
Actually, no, I've been in the chat, letting them have it. Just giving lefts and rights and just doing them in, no. A great conversation that's going on in the chat. But, again, it proves a lot of points because, and this is just my opinion, ladies, especially the ones I've been talking to, you guys are all talking the same talking points without any factual stuff. You're just saying, yeah, men are no good. Men are this. I was talking to a person, not in this show, but in another show, and she was saying how, oh yeah, men are just abusive, and black men are abusive, and black, we're this, we're that, we're this. And then I asked her, a modern chick, okay, a modern lady today, I said, have you ever been in an abusive relationship? Ain't no way. What the hell are you talking about? If you've never been, you saw a Tyler Perry movie, and now you're projecting what you see and your fear onto every black man you encounter. And that's just the truth for a lot of our young ladies. They project a fear that they keep listening to Aunt Cloethus and, cousin Shashaquaqua and Grandma Mookie. All of these bitter old ladies who, and don't get me wrong, the stories they probably told you was probably true for their time. Back in the day, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, they put their hands on women. That was a fact. The 1930s and stuff like that, that was a fact. You could do that. That was legal. There's no problem with it. We're in the modern age now. So when
they used to slap their women on camera.
Right.
That law is still legal in South Carolina right now. You can beat your wife on the steps of the Capitol on the Sunday.
So a lot of these,
real quick, Donovan, we brought that up too a couple times, and a lot of the men said, "Yeah, bring that law back because y'all women is off the hook out here."
Okay. But and the sad thing is, I hear a lot of women and what they're saying, and they're projecting because almost every one of them that I've asked, have you been in an abusive relationship? Would you tolerate it? They all say no, hell no, it ain't gonna happen. Then what are you talking about that all men are abusive and all this other stuff if you've never been in an abusive relationship? How did you come to that conclusion?
I said this on this show about my sister. My sister right now is on a piece of land. Well, first of all, my brother-in-law has been in love with my sister since 16 years old. Told his friend that's going to be my wife. My brother-in-law already had 20 G's from a successful car repair business at 16. My brother-in-law runs Northern California for his industry. My brother-in-law has 2 horses, one white, one black, puts them in the Black Cowboy parade. Got my sister on acres of land with a pool. My sister, according to her, my brother-in-law's never hit her, held her down, but never hit her. My sister-in-law don't like how he has sex. And because of that, after 2 kids, she gives him the business. Well, guess what? This Mexican lady, she recognized game. She's like, Mr. K, yeah, you're lonely, aren't you? She
Say
started
it
rubbing.
isn't so. Say it isn't so.
She started rubbing on the inside of that leg after 30 years of marriage. And my brother-in-law did what he did. You know what I told my brother-in-law? I said, look, bro, I am her only brother. She's not around enough men to know how it really is out here in the streets. I forgive you. Don't do it again, but I forgive you. Because, brother, you've done a lot for this family. You've done a lot for her. You put this woman in a 3-car garage home before she made 25. You put a Mercedes Benz around this chick, and she don't appreciate it. None of it, Demetria.
She doesn't get the candle wax.
So, if I understand you right, your brother-in-law left with the other lady?
No, he stayed loyal. He stayed loyal. With all that bread, with all that opportunity, he stayed loyal and suffered through it.
He better than me.
Now, when you say suffered through it, so did your sister, did she know? Did she change? Like she's still doing the same thing?
I gave my sister the riot act politely. And I said, look, you don't understand. Maybe you've put this guy in a position because you don't like how he pipe. I get it. But you don't think you're the first person to have to teach somebody? We men got to teach women all the time. These women don't have talent, most of them. We got to teach them. And she started thinking, and I think she's building a better marriage. But the point I'm making is what Donovan just said. Many of these women, like my sister, ain't really went through nothing. The sisterhood is like the Sith from Star Wars. They have an idea of how the Force works. They have a good concept, but not one of them has actually applied the theory all the way through because they keep killing each other.
You know what I'm saying? We need to hit him with the force.
And
my lifesaver's out.
let me ask Thumb this question.
That's right, bro. Get your sword. Get your sword, man.
That Thunder says, ask, is a black man obligated to give back to the community when he makes it big? Are black women obligated to give back to the community or just to black women? If so, why? Who wants to answer that?
What?
I'll answer that.
Nobody's obligated to do anything.
Yeah, no one's obligated to do anything for you. So shout out to my brother Moko. He be breaking down these HBCUs. So out of I think it's 125 HBCUs, only 10 of them are actually founded by descendant of slaves. So y'all need to look into that. So when we say, hey, look, it's just someone from the black community that makes it, a LeBron, a Michael Jordan, Tyler Perry, whoever, right? Should they help? No, because they made their money the way they made it. But they also should remember that it was black people who actually helped you get to where you are at, even though it's the white money that really supports you. So it's really a choice if they should give back or not at this day and age. But with that being said, if we aren't funding our own institutions and situations, we shouldn't be going to see LeBron or going to go see a Tyler Perry play. Let's be logical about that.
Those 1970 brothers gave back. Those 1980 brothers gave back when we was little kids. And for the 1990 and the 2005, 2010 crowd to just wallow in the bath of digital currency and money and not do nothing back in return, what are we doing? Ice Cube has more successful movies than Tyler Perry. But Tyler makes more money because most of them is a bankroll by him. But when you look it up, Ice Cube has more successful movies. Why did Ice Cube have to go to the Arabs to make the Big Three happen? Pause. Why did he have to do that? You got enough dudes out here buying rims and flying chicks out. Why did you have to do that? So to a degree, you should want to give back. But this is the problem with the community. I'm gonna pass the mic after this. You can't be speaking with a forked tongue. I was on another panel and I asked a bunch of people who was criticizing some of the moves. I said, I got 12 people hired since COVID. You've been on your job 5 years. Who have you pulled in? That's a problem. When people are so selfish and self-focused, they can get on the mic and critique, but don't have no track record of helping nobody outside their own family structure. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Black America, what's going on with you?
Hello. Can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Let's get ready to run.
Hello, Mr. Hello, Mr. Demetra. Hello to all the gentlemen on the panel. I just got a couple of quick questions and comments. When I was speaking like this the other day, Demetra, you jumped all down my backside because I'm telling you, hold on. I'm telling you that Kevin Samuels gave advice. He wasn't leading men, but he was giving men advice. And today you all googly-eyed on the advice that he was giving.
No. I vaguely remember the conversation about leadership. And if I was not mistaken, you all were saying that men don't follow other men. Am I right? That's kind of where we was at with it. You and Donovan both said men don't follow other men, and I brought up Kevin Samuels. I'm like, well, he had a whole lot of men following him, and then I think he said something about he was just giving advice. It's like, nah. There's a lot of men following, call him the Godfather and everything. Am I wrong?
Okay, so maybe a man following somebody. I follow you on YouTube. But you are a woman. I wouldn't take your advice about anything. You see what I mean? You may have some good advice about something. Kevin Samuels was telling men how to dress. He was saying about candles. He was saying about colognes. He was saying things how to make a man, make a man more appealing to women. Okay. So that's not following somebody. That's listening and taking what you can from it and say, oh, okay, I like that. I like that cologne. Okay, I like that candle. So I think that's where the disconnect on that.
Yeah, because
let's
keep it a buck. That's where the point of contention was, as far as do men follow other men, or can other men lead other men? I said yes, and y'all said no. So to the new gentleman up here, what is your opinion? Do men lead other men? Stanley?
Hold on. Can I get this one other thing out? Can I get this one other thing? All right. So then we have one of the brothers on the panel talking about something along the lines of helping the sons first. And I don't know. He said that he was getting pushed back from the brothers. I'm not sure what kind of brothers that he was getting pushed back from, but I'm going to say for myself as a man, I'm not helping no chick son, bro. I'm not doing nothing to be a coach, to be a leader in the community. These kids have to come to you. You can't reach out and go grab these kids from these ladies and thinking that you're going to be effective in any shape, form, or fashion. These kids have to come to you and be willing to submit under your thumb to become what they can become. So I don't know exactly like the workings or the organizations or what kind of men were pushing back from you or why they could be pushing back from you. I just heard a little bit of it. So I want you, if you can, I know you say you can't expand too much on it. I want you to expand a little bit more, or am I saying it wrong, or is it along those lines? Yeah, okay, totally right on. Thank you.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. I don't want to take up much on the stage because Donovan will beat me up. Or that darn cat will beat me up. So here's the thing. What we're trying to do is create an environment for sons, black males, sons and nephews. If they don't want to be part of the block, if they don't want to be part of the gangs, if they don't want to, if they want to move away from certain cliques, we want to create an environment of managers, owners, and mathematical thinkers where those boys, whether online or in person, can come and be part of a structure that's doing more than just talking to them. We want to put them in internships. We want to put them in actual applied theories, not like I'm working with 2 black engineers out in Northern California. They got jobs. I am creating a training to separate people who want the job and can adhere to the behavior and not mess up these 2 brothers' names from the people that don't. So these are 2 examples of what I mean by black sons. I want to create an environment because we don't have this, brother. We don't have an environment where black sons can turn 18 and rely on this community to give them a bar mitzvah. For those people who know what a bar mitzvah is, this community to do what Latinos get and get machismo. And we don't have that for our boys. So our boys have to go to the streets to feel like part of the wolf pack or figure it out themselves, get it out the mud. Because, you know, every black man says, man, you don't need C-Lay Trey. You can figure it out yourself. Get it out the mud. So we're just creating something to where we want these boys to have access to where they can get chaperoned into a better situation that other cultures have and our black community don't. And we're not trying to do a kumbaya for girls and old men and older women. We're not doing none of that. We're doing strictly sons and nephews.
All right.
Hey, just real quick, because I gotta go, folks. Appreciate you, Demetria, bringing me up, and shout out to all the men in the panel. I just want to comment on this one commenter that left a comment in your YouTube. A lady 747. She said that why have black men lead when they led us to where we are today? Well, I think you should go watch the movie Claudine. That tells a different story. And she left another comment saying, well, we got the manosphere and all this other stuff. Well, hold on a minute. The manosphere is not black people stuff. We're red pill. And where did the red pill analogy come from? It came from a black woman by the name of Sophia Stewart, the creator of the Matrix. So if anything, we got the information from y'all. We just reversed it on y'all. Can't get mad. You know what I'm saying? That's the game. But gotta go, folks.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on. Come back and see us.
For sure. Love y'all. Peace. You know what I mean? All right.
Learn something new. I didn't know that. Have to do my research. The Matrix is my dad's favorite movie. Like, he quotes that movie like it's real life.
She wrote
that movie
and the Terminator.
Yeah, she wrote that movie, Terminator, and the first Terminator, and Dark City. Dark City was her first one.
Wow. Yep. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Stanley, were you going to answer as far as can men lead other men, or do they lead other men, or did you answer that already?
Yeah. No, the only thing I was going to ask is of the men on this panel, how many of us run our house the same exact way?
Question for a question?
None of us.
No, I'm just saying. I mean,
none of us.
So with that being said, that's what I meant when I said that we can advise each other, we can critique each other, but we really can't tell another man what to do or how to run his house or how to run his plan. Because at the end of the day, every man runs his own. That's just what it is. I mean, iron sharpens iron. You know, we can make each other better by seeing better. That shows us better, and we will eventually do better, hopefully. But I mean, you can't just right out snatch a man and tell a grown man who's stuck in his ways what to do. We don't operate like
that. I love that. I'm glad you answered that so properly for maybe they can get a little bit more context.
I mean, I get the context. You can't make anybody do anything they don't want to do, right? Lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. It's the same concept, but I'm just not one of those people that believe that men can't or don't lead other men. They do it all the time. You know, maybe that's true in your case, but I don't think that's true overall. I mean, I heard a pastor say, he's a very well-known pastor, Bishop R.C. Blakes. I don't know if y'all ever heard of him. He says, yeah, look him up. And he actually be getting it on the women. Like he be giving the women the business. He told women, he said, don't be with a man that can't take advice or leadership from another man, or does not have a man as a mentor over him, like a father, uncle, a pastor, somebody that could put him in check. And I actually heard Kevin Samuels say that when he said his friend came over one day talking about, I'm about to cheat on my wife. He says, he told him, man, you better take your ass home. You got a good woman at home. And in fact, if you cheat on her, I'm telling. He says, we as other men need to hold other men accountable. So I don't know. I don't tend to believe that men just aren't able to be led by other men.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We can advise and we can critique, but we can't just, no, you can't lead a leader.
Yeah, no. Real men take advice from real men all the time. But you know, a man like there's a bunch of men that I follow, and I'm on YouTube all the time listening to men. You know, one guy follows. He's like, my wife is the best thing that's ever happened to me. My businesses and none of that shit means shit without her. So I focus on her, and then I build around her. And that I was like, you know what? That makes a lot of sense because at the end of the day, men, we do a lot of stuff for our women, right? If you take women out the picture, men, we aren't as successful. We probably don't work as hard, right? Because our boys don't require as much from us as our women do. Our women need more from us. So I think it's, of course, we take advice from other men, especially the stronger you are, but we don't let them lead us. We take their advice and say, okay, we can do better.
Right.
I think any real man could benefit from that. And then women, y'all need to, Lord have mercy, I'm going to say it, step to the side, left to right. And if we put the pressure on men that women y'all put on each other, the fake this, that, the Botox, the injections, all that crazy stuff y'all do each other, turn that energy to putting the pressure on the men. Man, you need to be a man, but here's how I'm going to help you do that. Tell Tyler Perry, that's theater, but that ain't real life. Most men don't behave that way. I love Madea. I love watching Tyler Perry shows, but it's sort of that moment during the play you go, oh shit, okay, here we go. Here's like I Can Do Bad by Myself, where they take the dark brother with the bald head from Drumline, and he's dragging his wife up and down the stairs. And I took my woman to see that, and she was just like, is that how y'all treat y'all women? And I was like, oh shit. I had to overcome that. And I just think that black men, women, just step to the side. And if your man would stop putting his what he does for a living in the mix. If your man can make 50,000 or 42,000 or 38 and take care of you and give you a comfortable home and save some money and lead you, then just be with that. All that other shit he's got, my man's 8-figure nigga, that shit ain't real. And I know Sweetie personally. I've met her. I know her. And she don't have an 8-figure nigga. Not permanently. That shit is all fantasy. Women, you got you a good man and he's working on himself, get behind him. Otherwise, like, I respect the dude that was saying his sister, the brother-in-law, the Mexican woman was rubbing his thighs, or maybe it was his back. I heard thighs.
Yeah, thighs.
Man, black women, sometimes slow down, rub your man's back, rub the inner thighs. You don't got to put the candle wax on them, but say, you know, baby, I got you. In real life, intention is more powerful than anything, because you can make mistakes, but it's the intention that I think is more powerful. What is it that I wanted to do for you? I wanted to do this for you, but you run your mouth so damn much, my intention got thrown in the trash, and I'm fighting with your dumb ass. Versus saying, I want to give you a house in a beautiful residence and security, but I got to battle with what you and your girlfriends think about me because I'm a plumber and I make 58 grand. and y'all dreaming about a dude, and I'm gonna say this only because I saw it on the news. Maybe we can find a better example, but this Pearly things came across my feed, and I stopped following her, but somehow I saw it, and she says average men don't cheat, and I was like, okay, well that's not true, but she says she made a point on Tinder, Bumble, blah blah blah. She goes, 5% of women only swipe right 5% of the time. Women believe that 80% of the men are unattractive. So y'all women are dating the same 5 to 20% of men. All you guys are trying to get with, and the other 80% of the men are out here fighting on their own. I found a lot of truth in that, because when I hear women talking, they're like, "Oh, I need a man that's this." Then I'm like, y'all fighting over the same dude. Every dude can't be 6'2". As a man that has your shit together, I don't care who you are, you cannot make yourself 4 inches taller. But women, y'all get stuck on that. Oh, what's he do? He's a doctor. First of all, most doctors don't even have time for you. And they don't even make enough money to pay their student loans. The plumber that has 2 plumbing trucks makes more than most doctors out there bring home cash. And the plumber can come home and plumb his wife, but the doctor is out there giving injections and got women all over him because he got a Tesla he can't afford, and he's paying off these student loans, but he's in the white coat, and y'all giving the booty to that dude in the closet when you got a plumber at home that got time for you. So until we figured it, and I don't know who YG is, I'm assuming he's the rapper.
That's what, YG 400. Yeah, that's who Sweetie messing with.
Okay, no. I know Sweetie personally. I said she is not with an 8-figure nigga all the time. Do you really think YG is only messing with her?
He's not.
Let me ask you another question. When is the last time you saw Sweetie? Don't get me started.
At the Usher concert when she was acting hella ghetto. I was like that. Well, let me ask you this. Since you know Sweetie and he does, is she like that in real life? Because I know she's got a degree from USC or San Diego State or something. Is she does she act like that all the time?
Filipino.
Last time I saw Sweetie, I went to her birthday party. She was very conservative, very quiet. She said like 2 words. Matter of fact, I gave her a hug, and we had been drinking, so we'd had 2 or 3 drinks. I went to give her a hug, and I pulled her to me, like, "Hey, girl," and she like looked at me like, "Hey, slow down, brother. That's a lot much." But I'm grabbing her like the homie because my boy's like blowing, like, you gotta, y'all gotta hang out tonight. Let's get some drinks. Let's go to the studio. So I grab her like one of us, and she was like, "Hey." So, and that just, matter of fact, I thought she was even offended by the way that I hugged her. So from getting to see her all night, she was very low key. But once she gets in the media and she got in with the Migos and all that stuff, she turns into somebody else. But she does not have an 8-figure dude.
Shout out to Filipino Sawiti and the Bay Area girl. Look, to answer the question about the guys, following, let me start there. I find it hard to deal with dudes who want to be on an island. There's a lot of dudes I feel like I manage better. There's a lot of dudes I feel like, but I don't mind playing second and third because that makes a great CFO. That makes a great account manager. That makes a great division leader. I one CEO told me a long time ago. He said, the greatest thing I can tell you is that I work for those guys out there. Those guys out there are my employees. They want something in the middle of the night, 2, 3 a.m. I get up from my bed, make sure they have it. I work for them. Even though I make the big bucks, I work for them. And I took that with me. So dudes who don't want to be part of that group thinking, I totally understand. I have no knock for them, but America is about groups versus groups. Whether you believe it or not, the people on the island are there temporarily. Nobody ain't found them yet. Nobody done paid attention to them yet because other groups, they like challenges. They find out Donovan doing well, they coming for Donovan. Donovan better have somebody in the group. They find out Demetria doing well, they coming for Demetria. She better have some backup. Shout out to the Pearly Things comment. Pearl is Italian. She's from an Italian family. You need to know that to know why she says these 23-year-old, 24-year-old, no research comments that she makes. She's in a bubble. She done blew up on this computer thing accidentally. She hasn't even really fleshed out her thought process on why she think she will hear Donovan or Demetria say something and just run with it. Won't even cross check it. Won't even see if it's real. That's her way of doing it. So I don't take her seriously, like I don't take many YouTubers seriously. And I'm gonna end by saying this: we had one brother who had 1.1 million followers about 9 years ago. He committed suicide from loneliness.
Which brother is that?
I gotta get his thing started.
Was it not? It was not too long ago, right?
It was about 8-9 years ago.
Oh, he did that 8-9 years ago.
Yeah. He had 1.1 million, and he offed himself from loneliness. So there's a lot of people that don't understand this stuff is about groups, man. You know, when you know, I love our people, but I realize I can't convince women. Shout out to the brothers that's still trying to convince women. I'm going to protect the pick-me's. I'm going to protect the mammies. I'm going to protect the male identifier. I'm going to let the other women, the anti-male women, do whatever it is they do. They are firing women left and right in corporate. Didn't you just hear about the DEI women getting fired? Many of the, hey, look, I ain't got nothing to say. You didn't want to be part of this group. You've been there 10 years. You ain't pulled nobody in. You ain't got no track record of helping your people. You do you. Laptop brother, you on the laptop. You talking passport, bro. I'm not mad at you, but now all of a sudden the Indians want to get rid of you. And nope. Can't come over here to medical with my name. No, I'm good. I'm only protecting people who have group mentality. And I land.
I know that's right. Well, we're going to get out of here. We love and appreciate every last one of y'all. I know that we always have different opinions, but as they say, iron sharpens iron, and we learn from each other. Like I said, I learned about the term manosphere. It actually came from a Black woman. I am familiar with the sister. She actually sued, right, over Terminator, and she won a bunch of money because the concept, the script, and all that was stolen from her. So, yeah. You know, learn something new every day. Al, you crazy. Brother Simon says they come from those who are doing something great because they are indoctrinated in 12 years of white supremacy, self-hating training in the public school system. And Brother Samuel is a math teacher. And Janelle is a teacher as well. Yes, we will have this conversation again. No worries, Brother Stanley. So anyway, and then Honeybee says, so you like to be aggressed? See y'all, the problem, Lord have mercy. We're going to have to continue this. And Brianna, he says, I'm about to pour candles. Visited your web site, Walter. Lovely. Yes, indeed. So anyway, we could be here forever. Go eat some dinner and woo-saw, whatever you're going to do. And we'll see you guys back here on Sunday with Donovan for another interesting topic. Brother Jonelle says, recognize every level of the program or be programmed. You better.
Yeah. And I just want to add, since, you know, why do men have to pay, you know, for the thing for the program? Ladies, can we just get a discount every now and then, please? Please. Can we get a discount? I'm a military veteran. Can I get a veteran's discount?
Yes, I will leave on this. Y'all could get a discount for the little funky 2 minutes y'all be giving people. Absolutely. Love y'all. See you later.
Funky discount.